Hi Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your November 2021 full moon reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Let's let the bowls sing as we see what the tarot has to say. How will Capricorn be affected by the November 2021 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. At the bottom is our rooted self. The left-hand side is our inner self. The middle, our heart, our emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So let's see what the cards have to say. We have the Fool, and we have the Mystic, which is the High Priestess in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. And I love this combination where we're going on a journey, and this moon is going to bring us on a journey with all the astrological aspects of the moon, with how a moon of this intensity and this length of the lunar eclipse hasn't been seen in like 580 years. A lot of mystery, a lot of intensity is just going to come up. It's going to be natural. Then we have our inner selves, and we have the Lovers, which is Gemini energy, and we have the 10 of Wands. Gemini energy coming through if we have this within our natal chart, or if we have Geminis within our lives, they're going to come through very powerfully in our inner selves, affecting us. Then we have the Tower, we have the 5 of Wands, and we have the Queen of Swords, again amplifying the Gemini energy because swords represents air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. We do have Aquarius energy coming in during this time with the, not Aquarius energy. No, I do apologize. Yeah. So let's see here. We have the 7 of Cups. We have Temperance. Okay, it's Sagittarius energy that's coming through. I was like, what's going on here? It's Sagittarius energy that's coming through with the planetary alignment of Jupiter. So that's exactly what Spirit is saying. That's why I paused. I was like, wait a minute. And then we have the 3 of Swords, and we have the Hermit. So that's going to be quite powerful here. This is Virgo energy. Virgo is ruled by Mercury. We don't have any Mercury planetary alignment during this time, but we can find that words and the connection between the Mercury energy of Gemini and the Mercury energy of Virgo are going to come up very powerfully. It's going to be all about words. It's going to be all about communication and our way of connecting with things. So this is going to be very, very important for us. Now let's look at the energy we need to be mindful of. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. This is the Princess of Cups. This is water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. The sun alignment is in Scorpio. So we might have to be a little bit mindful of the way that we're connecting with the spirit world during this time, and the mysteries and kind of like the secrets that come forward with this water sign energy, with Scorpio here. Now, this is also going to be that we need to be mindful also of emotional divas. This is going to be a time where we're all so emotionally plugged in and so emotionally invested into things that we can be divas, and we can be very attracted to emotional divas. So just be mindful about this. It moves us to our chakra energy. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. And this is holistic health. Now, this is one of my absolute favorite cards, favorite chakra cards, and it is the root chakra. And the root chakra is coming through and telling us to be holistically aware of who we are, of how we're moving forward in our lives, of how we're connecting with ourselves and our own well-being. This can be a time where we're told to, connect to the earth, where we're told to take care of our bodies, where we're really starting to have revelations about ourselves and what we need and how we're moving forward and what it is that's empowering us and guiding us during this time. We're also going to be made more aware of what we spiritually need, of our emotional well-being, and what we need to be able to empower ourselves and move forward in what we love within our lives. So let's start talking about this moon astrologically. So again, this is the rarest full moon lunar eclipse that we have seen in 580 years. It is the longest lunar eclipse. It is called the blood moon because it makes that red tinge within the sky. Everything is more intense with a lunar eclipse, and everything's going to be more intense with this lunar eclipse. So as in all full moons, the sun is opposite the moon, which brings all relationships into sharp focus, as well as making us aware of opposing forces within our lives, work, home, wants, needs, loves, hates. Everything that is opposite starts coming up, and we start to really be aware of it. There is also more emotional awareness that is coming with this moon, and we're also going to be more spiritually and personally plugged in to what we want and what we need for the betterment of ourselves to move forward. A lunar eclipse also represents the resetting of our emotions and a clearing away of the baggage that we've been carrying for the past 6 months. And I don't know about you guys, but I've been seeing this weight on so many people during this time, and even on myself. And this is going to be a time where we actually feel like a lot of negativity is leaving, a lot of hardships and pains are being looked at, spoken about, brought into the light, maybe not in the most elegant or eloquent ways, but we're going to be seeing that we're purging. And as we purge, we might find that emotions get a little bit messy. That's something that we have to be aware of, but we start to also step into the power of ourselves and what we need to be able to move forward in our strengths. The world is tinged in just a little bit of gray from the past year, for the past 6 months, and we're going to see that gray starting to lift. The full moon is in Taurus, which is the second sign in the zodiac. This means that it is naturally linked to the second house, which is representative of the material world, material things, material life, food, the body, well-being. That's why also the holistic health, we're going to be so in tune with it, because first of all, this is an earth sign energy moon, so we feel very comfortable in earth sign energy. And as we're being told to look at ourselves holistically, look at ourselves and honor ourselves, we're going to start to connect with our health, with what we need, with maybe even alternatives to certain things. Like we can start to look at, oh my goodness, it could be anything. It could be looking at our diet and saying, okay, well, what do I need to change within my diet that makes me feel better, that makes me feel stronger? I know I cut out gluten and it was amazing. I know people say that, and I was very apprehensive of it, but this is going to be a time where we can see making changes like that, little changes, they wind up becoming actually really big things. And then we could find out that we have, something within us that needs this change, that is perpetuating this change and really coming forward. We're being told to pay attention to the quality of things, not the quantity of things. Taurus is all about quality, and as earth sign energies, we are about quality. The sun is in Scorpio, which is the 8th sign in the zodiac, and this means that it's naturally linked to the 8th house, which is the house of regeneration and death, which, yes, can be scary, but what we have to see here is that it's a door to another world, and that door to the other world is opening to us. As the second house in Taurus have us focusing on the material world, the eighth house in Scorpio have us connecting with the spiritual world and the esoteric side of life. These two needs need to be balanced, or else we're just going to feel like we're floating willy-nilly in the world, and we're not having this set sense of ourselves and what we need and what we desire and the way that we're moving forward. Taurus and the second house also have us linked with Mother Earth and what we are earning, how we are able to provide for ourselves. This can be a cantankerous subject right now. I absolutely understand this, and so does Spirit. And so what we're looking at here is the way that we can kind of find ourselves having balance, having harmony within our lives, and what needs to be looked at differently, what needs to be changed, because Scorpio and the eighth house are linked to the banks and how we are able to save once everything is cared for, once everything is provided for. And these are going to be two subjects that come to the forefront of our minds. Now, the moon is squared Jupiter. That's where the Sagittarius energy comes in, and we have Jupiter coming forward. That's why I paused here with the Queen of Swords, because we have the Sagittarius energy here. We have the twin sign of, not twin sign, the sister sign of Sagittarius being the Lovers, Gemini energy coming forward. So we can have that bit of a battle within ourselves. Our sister sign is Cancer energy, so we might need to be mindful of this with the energy of the Princess of Cups, the water sign energy coming forward, that has us looking at things in a very different way. And sisters, as we know, if we have them, can be the people who love us the best, but also press all our buttons the quickest. So just be aware of that. With the moon squared Jupiter, this brings hope and enthusiasm into our lives, though it also amplifies the emotional response to things. So we have to be mindful of the way that we're responding, because we're going to tend to respond, and this is another thing Spirit is telling us to be mindful of. We're going to tend to respond instantaneously, absolutely, and be like, okay, that's it, that's what I'm going for. Okay, that's it, that's what I'm going for. And this is going to be something where we're not thinking it through, we're just acting out of emotions. And this can also be something that really needs our attention, especially in arguments, because we can all have a tendency during this time, and because it's astrologically, it's everybody, to be really, really mean. All right, so just be aware of this. We will have a tendency towards moodiness, irritability, and carelessness. So again, just be aware of that. And we're going to get into the mean aspect of things a little bit later. I know that's not what anybody wants to hear, but it is going to be an aspect of this time that just needs to be, addressed and then moved forward from. We are being told to adapt an attitude of gratitude and spirituality, not materialism. So as we see the spirituality come forward, we will also see our world transform and ourselves transform. Jupiter also urges us to expand our horizons and be more mindful of greed taking over. And we'll get into that greed in just a little bit. The moon is trine Pluto. Now, Scorpio is ruled by Pluto. It's also ruled by Aries. What we're going to find here is that this moon trine Pluto aspect really has a tremendous effect on us because of the sun's power. This brings spiritual and emotional sensitivity, as well as enhancing and bringing to focus our psychic development and our psychic essence. We will feel things more powerfully, which will make us more emotional. And this is going to be something that we just have to address, the fact that our emotions really can be in the forefront of things and overpowering towards things during this time. There's a subconscious urge for the evolution of ourselves in a spiritual way, in a sense of embracing our power and our connection with the earth and our souls and our spiritual guidance. This empowering energy, the empowering energy of Jupiter, helps us to achieve these goals. It comes through very powerfully, especially in the public arena, and to align ourselves with our karmic destiny. We're going to start to see that karmic destiny more and more. It's like, this is why I'm put on this planet. This is what I want. This is what I need. This is what I'm going after. The eclipse aspect pattern of this time is the alignment of the sun, the moon, Jupiter, and Pluto, which creates a quadrilateral known as the animated figure. Now, the animated figure, as we can tell from the name, it starts to animate our world. It starts to bring things to life. It doesn't happen all at once, and it doesn't necessarily happen easily. But what it does bring to surface is our physical, psychic, emotional, mental abilities that let us tap into our imagination and our perseverance to get the job done and to start moving forward. just be mindful, because everybody's going to have this aspect of, I'm either 150% in or I can't be bothered at all. So this is going to be something that we need to be aware of, because it can get us really annoyed with ourselves, but also with other people. Now the fixed star Algol comes into play, and Algol is known as the most evil star in all the heavens. So seriously, it's a big name to live up to, but it's something that we have to be aware of here, because there's just going to be this malevolent tendency undercurrent during this time. Algol has a tendency towards violence, extremes, misfortune. This is where the moodiness, the anger, the every intense negative emotion can just be amplified to 150%. It's kind of like pouring gasoline on a fire and then lighting a match. That's what Algol is. So just being aware of this can really help us align ourselves to a higher energy vibration, really help call out any negativity, any anger, any hurt, any pain that we have within us, and really start to move towards what we desire within our lives. Algol also represents the head in the constellation of Medusa. Now, Medusa was beheaded by Perseus when he killed her. So this can be a time where we also have a tendency to lose our heads if we're not, aware of things, if we're not connecting with our own energy, with our own selves. Do not fall into the trap of greed, because what's going to happen is it leads to some really real and powerful regrets. So that's just going to be something that we need to be aware of here. So we start off with the Fool. We start off with an adventure. We start off with a sense of, I'm moving towards something more, something that I might not have envisioned before, but I'm needing to take a risk on me. And there's going to be this energy here, Capricorn, where I need to take that risk on me. I need to open up the doors. I need to go after what I desire and what I want and who I am. And it leads us to the High Priestess. It leads us to the complementary feminine energy of this Taurus full moon, because the Taurus in the tarot is represented by the Hierophant. In some older tarot decks, the High Priestess is known as the female Pope. Now, whether we believe in Pope Joan or not, that's irrelevant. What is here is the female counterpart to this powerful energy of this full moon. And it's actually stepping us into the feminine energy of Taurus, the feminine energy of connecting with our sensuality, what we desire from life, the quality of things, and the beauty of our world. So we're on this journey to kind of amplify this beauty, but also we're seeing things not for the way people want us to see things, but for how they truly are. And as we embrace this, we're looking in our inner selves, and we're looking at everything that we've been carrying, all the hurts, all the pains, all the angers, everything that we have been carrying, and we're starting to let it go. We're also going to look at everything that we're carrying for everybody else. It's kind of like when other people aren't pulling their slack, or are picking up their end of the bargain. We're going to be picking up the slack. And this is going to be a time where it's like, okay, I'm not being cruel, I'm not being mean, but people have to embrace their own journey. They have to look at things, and I can't be weighed down. And it's not saying that we don't help people. It's not saying that we don't love people. It's not saying that we don't connect with people. But it is saying that we don't sacrifice ourselves for everybody else. And this is a time where we're looking at everything that we're carrying, everything that is overwhelming us, everything that has been a part of us for so long, and we're releasing it. We're releasing it to be able to stand and face the sun. Because the thing with the Ten of Wands, is that it can almost feel like the Ten of Swords. It almost feels like it's absolutely laid us flat, because all we're staring at is the dirt on our shoes. All we're staring at is the mud that's beneath us. And what Spirit wants us to see here is the beauty and the prosperity and the insights and the power of the blessings that come into our lives and that lay before us. And it moves us into the Lovers. And the Lovers is telling us, first of all, this is a time where we need to be mindful of lust taking over, need to be mindful of certain negative traits of ourselves that can be very pleasure seeking, high dopamine rush coming in and wanting to take over during this time. So just be aware of that. Just be very mindful of it as we embrace what we love, because we're really seeing the difference between what we lust after and what we love, what we desire, what we want, and what we need within our world. And as we're embracing this love, we're embracing our passion. We're embracing where we need to be within our lives. We're embracing the beauty of ourselves and the glory of what we're discovering. And so that love really does change us. We're also finding the passion of our world. We're finding the passion of where we want to be, of how we're developing, and what it is that we're going after. It leads us to the Tower. It leads us to the sense of this moon changes everything. Why? Because emotionally, it's going to bring up a lot of chaos, a lot of arguments, a lot of hurt, a lot of pain that has been there before. And as it's brought up, we start to see what it is that has been holding us back in a very negative way, what it is that has been beating us down, stopping us from being able to move forward. The Tower is pushing us out of our comfort zone massively. So this is divinity saying, you don't get to be comfortable here. You don't get to, kind of sit back. This is going to be a time where even if we do sit back, we're doing it with force. It's like, I am forcefully staying where I am because this is where I need to be. And what Spirit is showing us during this time is that it's a place of chaos. It's a place of chaos and doubt and even corruption at times, but we've become used to it. We've become used to the chaos. We've become used to the bickering and the fighting and the discord, and it's moved us to the Queen of Swords. It's moved us to this place where all of a sudden we're like, I'm done with the bull. I'm absolutely cutting through it. And I love it that it's represented by Taurus, the bull in the zodiac. So it's like, I'm done with this. I am moving forward towards where I need to be. This is the warrior queen coming through, and it's like, I need to be who I desire, what I desire, and where I want to be within my life. And this is us cutting through doubts and fears. This is us claiming our voice and our actions and our insights and our ideas so much more. And as we do so, we see ourselves. As we do so, we step into our journey and our discovery and our abundance and our insight. And as we do so, we start to step into who we are more and more and more. And that really begins to change the game. But the warrior queen, okay, so the Queen of Swords can have a really bad rap. And it's because they're done taking the bull. And they've also trained for this. They've been preparing for this their whole entire lives. And we're going to see certain ways that Spirit has set us up, certain ways that Spirit has propelled us forward towards something more, and been aligning our world to face certain aspects of life that maybe we wouldn't have faced if Spirit hadn't tested us in these certain ways. And so it brings us to the Seven of Cups. It brings us to the place of dreams. It brings us to the place of choices. But what we have here is this power to look at what we are dreaming about, look at what we really want within our lives, and bring it to the public arena, not having it set in that back corner, not having it be hidden away so that we don't connect, so that we don't embrace it. But what we're going to see is that instead of coming to our dreams when we're really down in our lives, coming to our dreams and saying, but this is still my sacred dream, this is still something beautiful that gets me through the hard times. What we're looking at is, this is the dream that I bring to the forefront of my world. This is the dream that is my passion and my desire and what I truly want for myself. And as that dream comes forward, we start to see ourselves be balanced. We start to see ourselves embracing the harmony of where we want to be, of what we desire, and of who we are. And as we embrace this harmony, it brings us to a hopeful place. It brings us to a place of enthusiasm within our lives, because we're looking at everything that we're balancing. We're looking at our spiritual self and our material self. We're looking at what the world tells us we want and what we tell us we want, and we're starting to find that harmony. We're starting to find that sense of, this is me, this is where I need to be. And this is going to be a time also where we really start to balance things that are, food for our soul, and then balance things that put food on the table, balance things that are our dreams, and balance the things that are our practicality. And that really leads us to the Three of Swords. It leads us to that place where we're looking at the hurt and the pain and the destruction that has come before. It says affairs of the heart, and that's what it is. It's almost like being cheated on. Now, if we have been cheated on, we know the scar that it leaves. But if we haven't been cheated on, what we know is the pain that we hear of it. And so this is going to be something that just scars us. This is going to be something that defines us, maybe not in the best way in our lives, but does define us in a powerful way, in a way that we need to look at, in a way that we need to understand. And so as we embrace this, as we look at this hurt and this pain and this disappointment, we start to see ourselves in a very different light. We start to call out the pain, and we take out the swords that have kept us held back, that have kept us beaten down. And we start to embrace the power of our heart, the power of our soul, the power of what we want. And it's by naming the pain that we relinquish the power that it has over us, because it's what we're seeing, it's what we're understanding. And it brings us to the Hermit. It brings us to this place of wisdom. It brings us to this place of ideas. It also brings us to this place of being able to focus on ourselves, of what we want, of what we need, of what we love within our lives, of the harmony of being and the beauty of what we desire. And that opens up our world in a very new way. It brings us into ourselves. It's going to be very funny because the public arena is bringing us into ourselves. It's almost like the inner arena of ourselves is bringing us into the public, into what we greatly desire on this earth. And so we're going to need to find the balance of this as we're moving forward, because it's like we live from the inside out. And I don't know how else to describe it than that. We live from our emotions. We live from the freedom that we are granting ourselves. And then inwardly, as we're taking this all in the public arena, we're looking at our dreams, we're looking at our balance, we're looking at the heartbreak that has defined us, and we're looking at a way to connect with who we are and where we want to be, that bigger sense of what we desire within our lives. It moves us to our Lunar message. So let's see what the moon has to say for herself. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. And spirit guides, angels, oh goodness. And spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. And spirit guides, angels. And spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. And spirit guides, angels. And spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. So let's see here at our root. We have your hard work is paying off, but we have the new moon in Capricorn. So we have the essence of ourselves shining forward, and our hard work is paying off. It brings us balance. And that's what this time really is guiding us towards, a balance of ourselves, a balance of where we need to be, a balance of what we're discovering and developing within our lives. As we see beyond the veil, as we see beyond the mask of what everybody wants us to see, and we see what truly stands before us. It moves us to our Lunar inner self. And we have here, work through your fears. Fear. We're looking at a lot of fear as we're setting ourselves free. We're looking at a lot of fear as we're embracing our passion and what we desire and what we need within our lives. And as we look at this, we say, why is this fear here? Where does this stem from? Why is this holding me back and it doesn't let me move forward the way that I need to? We're looking at wanting to be that person who, embraces the murder of crows, who embraces this great expanse of themselves and this freedom of flight and insight and ideas. But we're that person scared inside that says, oh no, you can't. You can't possibly walk forward this way. And what we're going to see here is that, yes, we can. It moves us to our Luna emotional self. And it's hold to your vision. Acceptance, and accept your path. Accept the responsibilities that we've either had thrust upon us or we've taken on. Respect and accept who we are, and let's not try to make ourselves something that we are not. Let's hold to the vision of what we desire within our lives and accept the beauty that is around us and a part of us, instead of trying to make us into somebody else. It's like, oh, well, I'll accept me when I lose 5 pounds, when I, get that promotion, when I, have that house or have this or have that. And what Spirit is saying, accept yourself right now and hold to the vision of who it is that you want to be, of what it is that you're growing into. It moves us to our public arena self, which is a fiery climax approaches focus. And that can be the fixed star Algol that's bringing all this intensity forward. A fiery climax approaches. Let's not be in the mess of the chaos of the world. Let's be in the beauty and the power of who we are and of how we are developing within our lives. Focus on the third eye opening. Focus on the beauty coming forward. Okay, so let's look at our chakra, not our chakra energy. Let's look at the subconscious energy of this moon. We have the new moon coming through. and it says a new beginning is coming, and we have the new moon coming through again. So that's really quite beautiful. So here it is the new moon twice, and that is just so funny. And it's funny that underneath it is the full moon, and it says surrender to the divine extremes. Surrender to the divine, because this time brings us extremes, and it's going to be so much easier to say, I connect to spirit, I connect to the universe, I connect to this power, and I surrender to what I need right now. We're working towards the new beginnings. We're working towards walking through that portal, and that's on the 4th of December. We're going to really see that this power and intensity guides us in a way that we hadn't seen before. There's something that we're coming to a revelation to that will be here during the new moon that is going to be quite intense, quite beautiful for us. It moves us to our, oh goodness, I'm always jumping ahead of myself here. It moves us to the energy to be mindful of here subconsciously, and that's the King of Pentacles. This is earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. We need to be mindful of getting in our own way, but also being mindful of the greed that this moon kind of provokes in us, and everything that's coming up astrologically that has us looking at the material over the spiritual. And what spirit is saying here is that we can really start to admire people who just have and have and have, but we have to look at the hearts. We have to look at the passion of things. It leads us to our subconscious chakra energy, which is truth. And this is the throat chakra. And what we're doing here is we're embracing the truth of who we are. We're embracing the truth of what we desire within our lives. And we're embracing our throat chakra to speak what we need into existence and to connect with ourselves. It moves us to our subconscious rooted energy, and this is the Chariot. And the Chariot is Cancer energy. The Chariot is our sister sign. And so subconsciously, our sister sign is leading us forward. Subconsciously, we're looking at our heart, we're looking at our passion, we're looking at what we desire. And there are going to be times that we're so annoyed at everything that our heart is bringing us. And there are going to be other times that we're so grateful for everything our heart is revealing to us. And this is going to be a time where we learn the power of embracing our emotions and really looking at our soul and ourselves with openness and with honesty. It moves us to our subconscious inner self, which is the Page of Pentacles. This is us as a student. And we're going to be embracing the student mentality, the sense of, I don't have all the answers. I'm learning, I'm discovering, I'm seeing, I'm understanding. And I'm embracing what I need within myself and what I desire within my soul. I'm looking at things in a different light than I have ever before. And I'm starting to see me. I'm starting to embrace me. I'm starting to understand me. It brings us to our subconscious emotional self, which is the Sun, the happiest card in the whole entire deck. This is the beauty and the intensity that needs to come forward. This is happiness and joy and brilliance that gets to shine within us. And it's also understanding that when the sun shines within us, people take us by eyes. People sit there and say, why do you get to have, this happiness? Why do you get to smile and I get to be sad? And what we have here is just the beauty of our souls and ourselves to guide us forward and to embrace who we are. We don't get to give that away to anybody, even though they'll want us to. It moves us to our subconscious public arena self, and it's the world. The world is opening, and we're motivated to stand within the world as we are, not who we will one day be, not what we dream of being, but who we are right now, and to own and to embrace our souls and ourselves and our desires. But also, no, Spirit is saying the dreams are important, and the dreams are always important, to look and to move forward and to really be connected to what we are developing, what we are going after. And we're crowned here with the Seven of Cups. We're crowned with our dreams. And that's going to be so important for us to say, but I get to create the world around me. I get to move towards what I greatly desire. And that becomes a game changer. That becomes astoundingly powerful and beautiful. All right, Capricorn. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power and the intensity of this full moon. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Capricorn, and may you have a blessed moon.